Hey legends, welcome back to Pacific Fire, the channel that puts you right in the cockpit, the turret, the engine room of the moments that decided World War II. This is the story that literally changed the sky over Europe. It's EST, the fall of 1943. The 8th Air Force is committed to daylight precision bombing of Germany. The plan is bold. Massive formations of B-17 flying fortresses and B-24 Liberators flying in tight boxes. Defended by their own guns, dropping bombs on factories, oil plants, and airfields by day. The theory sounds good on paper. The reality is a slaughter. The bombers can reach Berlin and the deepest targets in the Reich, but their fighter escorts cannot. The P-47 Thunderbolt, the Jug, is tough and fast in a dive. But with standard drop tanks, it can only escort about 175 miles inland before it has to turn back for fuel. The P-38 Lightning does a little better, but still not enough. The moment the little friends wave goodbye and head home, the Luftwaffe pounces. Experienced German aces wait for exactly this moment, the point of no return. They climb, form up, and attack head-on with 20mm cannon and rockets. One mission after another turns into a bloodbath. The Schweinfurt-Regensburg raid in August 1943 costs 60 bombers in a single day. The second Schweinfurt raid in October, another 60 gone. 600 young American airmen killed, wounded, or captured in just 2 missions. The 8th Air Force loses nearly 30% of its bomber strength in 2 weeks. Morale is breaking. Some crews are refusing missions. Generals in Washington are openly asking if the daylight bombing campaign can continue. And then, one quiet, almost forgotten mechanic working on a British airfield comes up with a trick so simple it sounds ridiculous. A trick that turns the sleek, new P-51 Mustang into a fighter that can fly all the way to Berlin and back, a full 2,000 miles round trip with combat time included. Suddenly, the Luftwaffe has nowhere safe to hide. The sky over Germany turns from grey to blue. This is the true story of how one forgotten idea saved thousands of American lives and helped win the war in Europe. If you're ready to fly high, smash that bell and let's take off. March 4th, 1944, the first full P-51 escort mission all the way to Berlin. The Luftwaffe rises in force to meet the threat and gets absolutely mauled. The Mustangs have the fuel to chase, to bounce, to fight for hours instead of minutes. German fighters are forced to engage early to protect their own airfields. They burn precious fuel climbing and maneuvering. Then the Mustangs are waiting for them at altitude, diving out of the sun with superior speed and firepower. Kill ratios that were once even or in favor of the Germans flip overnight to 10-1, or better, in favor of the Americans. Famous groups like Don Blakesley's 4th Fighter Group, the 354th Pioneer Mustang Group, and the 357th Oxford Boys start racking up staggering scores. Pilots like Chuck Yeager, Bud Anderson, George Preddy, John Mayer, all flying Mustangs become aces in weeks. Bomber crews notice the difference immediately. Loss rates drop from 10 to 15% per mission to under 2%. The psychological impact is huge. For the first time, American bombers can hit any target in Germany with acceptable losses. Oil refineries, aircraft factories, ball bearing plants, rail yards, all now in range with full escort. Hermann Gring, head of the Luftwaffe, sees the first Mustangs over Berlin in March 1944 and reportedly tells his staff, "The war is lost." He knows his fighters can no longer protect German industry. By the summer of 1944, the Luftwaffe is effectively swept from the sky over Western Europe. Less than 300 serviceable day fighters left, D-Day enjoys almost total air superiority because the Luftwaffe simply cannot contest the skies. Think about what this meant in human terms. Before long-range Mustangs, a bomber crew had about a 25% chance of completing a 25-mission tour. After Mustangs arrive, that chance jumps to over 80%. Thousands of young American airmen who would have died come home instead. The strategic bombing campaign succeeds. German oil production is cut by 90%. Aircraft production is disrupted. The German war economy grinds down months earlier than it would have. The war in Europe ends sooner. The P-51 flies over 213,000 combat sorties in Europe, claims nearly 5,000 enemy aircraft destroyed in the air, becomes the backbone of Allied air superiority. All because one forgotten mechanic figured out how to hang bigger gas tanks on the wings of the best fighter ever built. That's the power of American ingenuity and Allied cooperation at its finest. That was the story of how one simple trick won the sky over Europe and saved thousands of lives. If this gave you chills, drop Mustang or drop tank in the comments below. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss the next firestorm. The new short is already live. Go watch it and let's break the algorithm together. Sources and extra photos are in the pinned comment. This is Pacific Fire. We bring the heat so you feel the history. I'll see you, legends.